Alright, so we're talking about Metal Bat and Amai Mask in this one, and what would happen if they were to actually fight. And also, like, these two characters have somewhat of a close-knit fandom, so regardless of who wins this matchup, somebody's gonna get angry, but I certainly hope you don't. And just remember that it's all subjective, and let us at least try to have a civilized discussion in the comments. And that being said, it's one of the more popular hypothetical matchups, so that's another reason why I want to talk about it. And I'm sure some of you OGs out there on the channel remember that I talked about this matchup last year, but a lot has changed since then. My mind is completely altered, and I kind of had rose-colored glasses on during that original video. So now I just want to take an updated look at this one and try to give more of an objective viewpoint on it. But also, in order to get in-depth into Amai Mask and his feats and everything, we're going to have to go into webcomic spoilers. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen in the story, I suggest you check out now. So this just isn't a good matchup for Metal Bat. I mean, honestly, if we just look at both of their performances, both of their styles, both of their temperaments, we could see that, like, Metal Bat's already on the losing end of this, and if there was, like, fighting odds, they would probably be in the favor of Amai Mask. But, of course, let's go into it. So, Amai Mask's feats, I feel, are more definitive than Metal Bat's, as where Metal Bat does have good feats, they're just not as good as Amai Mask's. And Metal Bat's power primarily comes from the hype around him, and majority of it is just speculation. Now, of course, I'm a part of that. I speculate a lot about his potential and his overall strength, but if we're trying to objectively look at like a versus battle such as this, we can't just say, well, Metal Bat can do this, or Metal Bat could become that, which means that he would defeat Amai Mask. I just don't think that's fair. And I don't really have like a dog in this fight. I like both of these characters equally. I think they're both great. Because if we are trying to be objective, we can't put too many unproven hypotheticals into this equation. For example, Metal Bat's fighting spirit. So we have seen him use this ability. We have seen the capabilities of it. But we can't put too much weight on it. We can't just say, well, Amai Mask would push him this far, he would gain X amount of power, and he would defeat Amai Mask because of that. No ifs, ands, or buts. And also, I want to go to the data book here, because the data book puts some severe hype on Metal Bat. And it says that when his anger reaches its maximum, his striking power increases to infinity. Now, there's multiple translations of this. You know, there's different iterations of what it exactly says. But more or less, that is the point that it is trying to get across. So what does this mean? Well, I don't know. Does it mean that he's stronger than Saitama at that point? Does it mean he could defeat anyone? Maybe, maybe not. And what exactly is him reaching his maximum? Have we seen him reach that point before? That also remains to be seen. Was he reaching that point against Garo? Was he reaching that point against Carnage Kabuto? I don't know. And let's also go into those matchups, because I think that's going to give us some good insight into what would likely happen against Amai Mask. So first of all, Amai Mask, like Hero Hunter Garo, are both very fast and both very skilled. Now, it's debatable who is the more skilled of the two martial artists, but nonetheless, they both have martial arts to them. Metal Bat, on the other hand, does not. I mean, we saw in his fight against Hero Hunter Garo that he's kind of just swinging aimlessly, and there's no real rhyme or reason to what he is doing. Now, that doesn't mean he's stupid, it doesn't mean he's defenseless. I mean, he does have some skills, obviously. I mean, when Hero Hunter Garo is initially trying to strike him, almost catch him off guard, he is able to deflect it with his bat, so he does have some skills. We've also seen he is able to take out demons and whatnot. But when going against a skilled opponent, he can't really do anything other than just swing his bat and hope that he's going to land a strike. And the same thing happened when Metal Bat went to Bang's dojo in the 4th audiobook. He couldn't land a single strike on Bang, and Bang points out that he's amateurish in his approach to fighting. So Amai Mask, who I think we can confidently say is more skilled than Metal Bat, would likely be able to avoid his strikes similar to how Bang and Hero Hunter Garo did. So is he faster than him? I think so for sure. So we don't really get a good grasp of Amai Mask's speed, but I feel like an emphasis is put on how fast he is, more so than it ever is put on Metal Bat. Now, the best speed feats that we have on Amai Mask currently is him being able to dodge the Evil Natural Water's jet streams. Now, this feat kind of seems to be downplayed now that E-Iron was able to avoid it in the manga, but maybe it will change. Maybe they'll upgrade the speed. But regardless, he is able to avoid multiple of them, as we see in that one single panel in the webcomic. And Child Emperor says that they're so fast you can't see them with the human eye, and you kind of have to predict where they're going. So that's somewhat of an accurate indication of how fast he is. So is Amai Mask stronger than Hero Hunter Garo? I think for sure as well. In Chapter 94, we saw him hold up that big piece of building debris with one hand. And then later on in the webcomic, he throws that massive boulder, which is much bigger than that piece of debris, at Black S. So this is showing us that, like, I think at the minimum, he's as strong as Tank Top Master. Some people think that he's even stronger than him. But regardless, this is the kind of strength that we're going to be dealing with. So the blows that he's going to be landing on Metal Bat are going to be greater than that of Hero Hunter Garo. And also, we can't forget that Hero Hunter Garo does not kill humans. He holds back. Amai Mask definitely is not going to hold back against Metal Bat. Because first of all, Amai Mask doesn't hold back. He's ultra aggressive. And we've seen that he has no problem with killing humans, as he completely ripped through Narinki's private squad, which is another indication of how friggin' crazy powerful he is, because there was, like, no real technique to that. He kind of just brute forced, ran through them, and they were wearing the organization power suits, which were pretty powerful, at least indicated by the Paradisers when they were, like, knocking down buildings and stuff with that. So he rips through that, multiple of them, no problem. There's guts and viscera everywhere. So we're going to be going with that kind of aggressiveness. And this is also severely disadvantageous to Metal Bat because he needs time for his ability to work. He needs to take damage for the fighting spirit to kick in and for him to get stronger and to get faster as well, as indicated by Garo. So can he take strikes from Amai Mask? Yeah, sure, why not? Can he land strikes on Amai Mask? Probably not, as we were talking about, as he wasn't able to land strikes on Hero Hunter Garo. I highly doubt that he's going to land them on somebody faster and probably just as skilled or close to the skill of him in Amai Mask. And also, Atomic Samurai says that Amai Mask is on par with Black S at that specific point in the webcomic, so I think that's also giving us a better understanding of where his speed and power is, and I just don't think that Metal Bat would really be able to deal with this well, especially very fast and early on in the fight. So could he survive long enough for his fighting spirit to kick in and then maybe he could get an upper hand at that point? Maybe. But also, like, he was already knee-deep into his fighting spirit when he was fighting Hero Hunter Garo, because he had already fought, you know, the two tigers before that, the two demons, and then he, you know, had his run-in with Elder Centipede, so he was primed up. And he was still taking more damage against Hero Hunter Garo and still wasn't really able to do anything. So, could Metal Bat hurt Amai Mask if he hits them? For sure. Metal Bat is ultra powerful as well. I mean, he was able to stop Elder Centipede from charging with his bat. That was pretty impressive. And if he were to, like, hit Amai Mask with that kind of power, it would definitely mess him up. And also, you know, we have the whole thing to go off of what Murata says. When Garo, like, lets his guard down and he just lets Metal Bat go after he feels that he's been defeated, he gets up and then the bat almost connects with him and then, you know, Zenko stops it. Murata says that that would have killed Garo. So that's also giving us an indication of, like, at that point of his power, when he's super pumped up, when he has, like, a lot of fighting spirit going for him, he could just off dudes like Garo. And I think it's safe to say that he could probably off Amai Mask with that type of power too. But is it going to get to that point for Amai Mask? Probably not, because Garo let his guard down, doesn't want to kill him. Amai Mask, on the other hand, has no problem killing him. Would totally do it and try to take him out as fast as possible. And it's not like Metal Bat is invincible. He can be defeated. You saw that Garo essentially beat him. I mean, if he didn't walk away, he probably could have killed him if he wanted to. And also in the VGS, it was stated by the system that Carnage Kabuto killed Metal Bat after 3 minutes of fighting, with probably an aggressive style similar to that of Amai Mask. Now, of course, Metal Bat says that the VGS can't quantify his power. I'm paraphrasing here, but, like, he says that in the real world, that death is just a flesh wound to him and that he can totally revive through fighting spirit. So does that mean that if Amai Mask were to literally kill Metal Bat, he would come back to life and just keep coming at him until he won? I don't know, but that's going back to what I was talking about in the beginning of the video with just, we can't throw too many unproven hypotheticals into this situation if we're going to objectively look at it. And in my opinion, objectively looking at this, Amai Mask is just too much of a bad matchup for Metal Bat and would likely beat him like 8 times out of 10. The other 2 times is like Metal Bat landing a strike on him and like popping his head or something like that. But other than that, I think this is Amai Mask's fight to win. At least until we see more of Metal Bat's feats in like the manga and the webcomic, whenever that will happen. But that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Like I said, please don't get upset at this. Just try to understand it's subjective. And if you think that Metal Bat wins, that's fine. But let me know in the comments. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you were at least entertained, give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. I also have a Patreon. Gives you access to a weekly Q&A. Have a great day.